So you are the Light Warriors. Thank you. Apparently we don't actually fight the bats. They just get in our way. This loot has been passed down from queen to princess for 2,000 years. Garland stole it when he kidnapped me. Please accept it as my gift. It just might come in handy. Thank you for saving the princess. To aid your quest, I ordered a bridge built to the continent. Go now and make the orbs shine again. See, the guards have anything different to say? Thank you for rescuing the princess. Nope. They are basically toads. They gave me a loot. Is that actually anything? Nope. The loot is literally nothing. Next to garbage. Unless somebody comes around and tells me it does something. My sister is back safe. Thank you. Let's see. That's the princess. I think this is the queen in this one. Does she have anything different to say about this? Thank you for saving Princess Sarah. Nothing. Well, I think I was proven right with my previous prediction of these locked mystical doors are still locked, and the game expects me to remember which locations had locked doors whenever I find a key. I'm literally just coming over here to make sure that the loot doesn't open them. Yep, we already talked about that. That the key is in Elfland. Yep. Yep, it's gonna be another one of those 30 hours from now. Remember that you had a key that opened something in the starter dungeon. Alright, well, let's go back, and first we'll save. Get a lot more money now, so why not? I think everybody is in their best armor and weapons. So let us fill up on spells, I guess. Rafferty, learn sleep. Rafferty, learn lock. I don't know what lock does. Rafferty, learn lit. This level spell is full. Oh. You're like Pokemon, you spellcasters, I guess. I forgot. You can only learn 3 spells. Fog. Lessons. Learn ruse. There goes all of our extra ammo. I'm still in the dark on what ruse does. Okay. Now, he said bridge to the mainland. I don't know where that is. Yeah, I saw the Wheel of Time trailer. I just have no connection to the Wheel of Time other than knowing about the RPG. I mean, I know more about the RPG than I do the books. Which isn't saying much at all. I know nothing about nothing. Yeah, I was thinking that arc. I mean, because it's literally the only direction I have to go. Because otherwise the other side has nothing there, and the rest of the way is, mountains. I at least had the benefit of having nowhere else to go on my side. Oh, right there. See, you said north of the castle. I thought you meant that way. I didn't even think about here. And so, their journey begins. What awaits the four, they do not know. Behold the title screen. Each holding an orb that 2,000 years ago shined with beauty from within, but now only darkness. Come, start your journey. Return the light of peace to our world. Rammed Bandasar. Now, Kenji. Production of Square A-Team. They brought the A-Team. That's another port. So I'm assuming that at some point we get on boats. That I have free range of the map like all the other Final Fantasy games. And the ability to ride a boat. A lot of imps in the early world. I mean, interesting enough, the four guys, or actually the three guys in the opening silhouette, not a single one of them was holding an orb. Lost opportunity, I say. I've heard nothing except word about these orbs this entire time. Didn't use the one chance they had to show it off. I don't know if I need to go through the swamp or just head straight up. Okay, 4 mad ponies, okay. I thought they were going to give him a name like Pegasus or Nightmare or something like that. Instead, we went the Pokemon route. Let's quadruple up on them for the first hit, since we don't know exactly how strong they are. The fact that I still miss a lot really ain't helping the cause. At the very least, I don't think I'm gonna get tired of the music. It's got a real good repeating synth vibe going for it, which I do appreciate. Anyone that's ever heard the opening sound or the end of YouTube sound I got going on the channel knows that I'm about it. I don't really think there's been a single Final Fantasy soundtrack bit that I didn't like. I mean, especially in Final Fantasy XIV, where they take all these old tracks and they update them. I mean, Final Fantasy XIV is basically a love letter to all the old Final Fantasies that I don't think they've made anything new for. They just repurposed all the old Final Fantasy soundtracks and creature names and models and ideas and made a single world about them. Pardon me? Sorry. Do hope I found a town soon enough. Could use a heal, some potions, something like that. Lessons still has all of his magic, but kind of holding off on that till a must use. Still at least have one cabin and thing, and I am outdoors, so that plays to my advantage. wonder if they ever did a Twitch Plays Final Fantasy. I mean, it's very much the same concept as Twitch Plays Pokemon. Seems like you'd really be able to do it here on this battle screen and plus on the overmap. God, I can only imagine how long that would take. Right, let's go to the desert. Desert and down. I don't know what I'm looking for on this map. I mean, I'm hoping like huts or, you know, something that just pops out to you like, hey, that's a place with treasure in it. Not like a dungeon or a ruin or something, but, you know, just something that has... first pass through, what we did, lasted maybe 20 minutes, Arcloid. We had a black mage. We died, obviously. We died at a point where reloading a save wouldn't matter. And on the second go around, decided to go with a red mage instead. I think it's playing out better, because the moment that the red mage runs out of spells, it does more damage with the melee. I mean, at the very least, I had to fulfill the request. He is named... I mean, that character was named for him, so... It makes sense if he wants to be a red mage, then be a red mage. I at least have the slight understanding that a red mage does a little bit of fighting and a little bit of magic. In the tabletop parlance, it really feels like a cleric. Able to wear heavy armor, still able to cast magic, still able to swing melee weapons around almost as good as a fighter. Like I said, it's really playing out better this way than it did before. The black mage can't wear the armor or swing the weapon as well. I will say it does have better flavor than the red mage, but it's where we're at. Oh, did I wander the right way by accident? Blue guy. Help! No details, just help. Yeah, dude dodged me. This town has been invaded by pirates. Okay. I don't know, Ark. As I said before, I know nothing. Colonel Clink and Jon Snow and myself are all in the same category of things that we know. Wow. I do not have enough money, and I don't want to buy the medium option yet. I can still survive long enough out here on the starter stuff. So I think I'm just going to hold off on that until I can afford them. I am Bike the Pirate, and surprised I am that you scurvy dogs have the nerve to face me. Mates, get these landlubbers. Wow, that is a lot more than I expected to fight. I'm going to assume, since they threw out such high numbers at me at such an early point, that either A, I'm further in than I should be, or B, all these guys are weak. Critical hit is not giving me good inspiration on my first thought. To be fair, though, numbers happen. Yeah, weak. I was right. Also, another reason I don't know Arc is that bow was not an option in the first town. And as is in the description of this is my first time playing Final Fantasy I, so that would be a big old unknown to me. Probably should use some of that healing magic on myself, but I don't think I'm in any danger unless they crit me again. And even if they do, I'm in town. Oh, I can't remember what my first RPG was. I want to say Final Fantasy VII was probably my first RPG. I remember I would hang out with my friend down the road over his house, and mostly just watch him play Final Fantasy VII. But, you know, when he had to get up and do something, hey, take over the controls, and that's what I would be doing. Don't think I came across the inn to save. What do we got armor-wise? God, I want the iron armor too. I can afford the iron armor. What am I talking about? Of course, I'll take it. And I will sell my chain. Yeah, because, after I got done playing Final Fantasy VII with him over at his house, I went... God, I think I had a PlayStation at the time. Okay, you got me. Take my ship. Okay, now that makes sense. And all the townspeople came out. Then I think I went on to Legends of Dragoon. The elves lived across the sea. Matoya's herb is the only thing that will help. That will wake their prince. Oh, and of course Final Fantasy VIII. Thank you. We don't need to be afraid of pirates anymore. No, you probably should. They still exist, and I'm going to leave this town eventually. There are many dangerous monsters in the sea. Be careful. Ships can stop only at ports. There are no ports in the north. Noted and noted. I have escaped from Melmond. In the west, my town is in trouble. Please help them. Alright, I don't see any wandering NPCs to the south of me here, so... Step to this building. Okay, look. From right here, where I was standing, that's all I saw of the inn. I assumed that must be where the pirates are. Let's not go in there yet until we're ready. And then went up. Oh, that's the inn. That's where we save. Alright, so I've spent all of my gold on one set of armor for myself. But now we also have a boat. Sahag. Which I'm guessing is short for Sahagan. Yeah, they're not really that threatening though, so I hope they have a high gold output. Really need the money to upgrade our guys. I'm also going to guess that this is of the era where I'm expected to be grinding my ass off to both level up my guys and get the money I need to get the gear they should be wearing. I love the fact that I'm pretty much keeping up fairly well with whatever the level of enemy that I'm at. Oh, it's pretty well, I think, for myself. Could do with a few less misses, though. Also, if I had to guess, I'm guessing that armor decreases damage down to 1 minimum. I'm taking these hits, and no matter how upgraded my armor is, it's always at least going to 1. Alright, gonna be super problematic if I let my healer go down. Which might be a thing that I've said too late. Oh, thank God, it was a miss. You're the fighter. Now you heal. Damn it. Immediately gonna have to turn around and go back to town. I do kind of wish that there was also some sort of indicator of who was going in what order. That would at least help me a little bit to determine who's in the immediate danger. In my defense, Arcloid, in my defense, 3 of us, perhaps the 3 of us still standing at the end of the fight, are all wearing chain armor. One of us is wearing iron armor. One of us is wearing armor made of cloth. The one that's wearing cloth armor is not in the same shape as the ones of us wearing chainmail. Alright, let's see. Magic. I'll just throw another save in there so they get their spell slots back. I mean, it's the point of the game, right? I'm running around with absolutely no idea what the hell I'm doing. which means that over the course people are going to die, and that I'm going to have to go running back and forth to revive them, and in the course of doing so, I'm going to get more experience than I would otherwise. Also, probably not a great thing that we're attacking a shark with swords. Either means we jumped into the water, or the shark, or we're leaning over the edge of the boat. I just healed you, Lessons. Come on! Have to look at better armor for the healer of the group. Alright. Shark has been dealt with. And we got a level up on our side. That should help. So as we're done with the level up screen, I want to take a quick look at the menu to see if there's anything I should be paying attention to on there. I don't think you were around, Ark, when I said before that I'm operating without a manual or anything. So anything outside of the game, I have no idea about. I'm not looking at any like guides or anything either. I'm just hopping in as though I was like 5 or 6-year-old me. Shove the cartridge into the thing. And now I'm looking and playing the game. 7% hit chance. Okay. Doesn't look good. I don't know the relative strength of new creatures. But the fact that they take up like double slots, or I say 1.5 the slots of everything else, indicates to me that they're stronger. Killed in one hit. What the hell do I know, right? Everything works good in theory. Ineffective. I was actually looking for that wizard who's wandering around in that town. Said he was from a village to the west. So I'm just kind of exploring the coastline to the west, assuming that at some point I'd encounter where he came from. Plus, I really want to get enough money to get us all in the right armor and weapons before we hit the next town, so that we're all properly equipped. Which says to me that I'm looking at something like... God, how much money would that be? Oh, Griff is stunned. Or paralyzed. Griff's paralyzed. That we're looking at what? 8, 16... Looking at what? 26,000? Sorry, 2,600. We're looking at 2,600. That I need to get everybody fully upgraded again. Two more sets of iron. Oh yeah, no, I mean the elves have been talked about since the first castle. They've got they've got the mystic key, and apparently their prince is also in some sort of stupor that he needs herbs to get cured for. As I said, pointedly, I just want to get everything that I need to have my guys on the level they should be for the next push. Which is 2 more sets of iron armor and 3 more sets of critical hits. 3 more sets of 500 cost whatever weapons. And in the course of course, getting all that stuff, I'll probably level up to be appropriate to the area as well. I just know if I show up at the Elfin place, I'll be, as I do in all of these games, wind up in a spot that I'm heavily out-leveled for. Or not even heavily out-leveled for, just heavily out-geared for. If I could, I'd really like to avoid getting into a death cycle. I mean, at the very least, wandering around out here like this, I still have the cabin. I don't know if you can use the cabin while on a boat, but, you know, Final Fantasy. I suspend my disbelief. Oh, I really wish they would just auto-adjust. Oh, you've killed that thing. That thing is no longer there. I'll attack the next thing. Yeah, it's my thought arc. I think I said that like an hour ago that I figured this is one of the early RPG styles of grind, 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 and then grind some more. Yeah, before I decided to play this earlier, I was watching a guy, I think he was near the end of the game, because he was on, like, part 7, and he said end of game. Uh, and he was playing a more modern version, with, like, you know, a lot more colored graphics and all that stuff. And I thought, that's not what I want to do. I mean, I'm obviously not playing the original. This is, well, obviously this is, you know what this is, but this is also a North American release. If you had been around in the first hour, you would have seen I was playing a black belt and not a monk. In the original release, a black belt, yeah, in the original release, it's a monk and not a black belt, and in the North American release, it's a black belt. So, I know that much because apparently I read Nintendo Power. I did have a pretty long subscription to Nintendo Power back in the day. I mean, way back when I had literal garbage bags filled with Nintendo games and Super Nintendo games. We had to move once when I was a kid, and for some reason, that's how I know how many I had. Garbage bag size, because they threw them all away. I gotta figure it would have been a treasure trove today of what like rare games are going for. At the same time, I don't think I had any rare games. Back then, we had a place nearby to us called Video Game Exchange, where they would take your game put a valuation on it, which was mostly like stickers, like a sticker evaluation that you could then trade in for other games. So if you had like 3 common games, you could trade them for equivalent value with a 1 rare game or something like that. And most of the time I would go there, all of my shit would be like, we got too many of these, we don't need any of these. So I got no like high hopes that my trash bags full of games were like anything great that people wanted. Am I going the wrong way here? Yeah, I don't think I have enough for armor. I'm just looking at the weapons. I figure if I can level up my guys like 1 by 1, have racked and iron armor with the best weapon he can afford, and then work on Griff next. I'll see if there's something in that doorway. Alright. I need another 147. Anything to sell? No. Yeah, no, it was a lot of stuff either way. Would have made it for like a nice collection if I was that's the help guy, I think. If I was doing one of those streams where like I put everything up on a wall behind me. Have a nice little have a nice little wall of NES and SNES games all around me. Would look nice, anyways. Especially even back before I had the bedbug problem. When I had all of my RPG manuals and books. There's that one. Well, since you're an expert of the game, Arkloid, how many hours long do you think this game is? Say I kept grinding the way I'm grinding. How many hours do you think this game is? What, on the Steam version you're talking about? I'm just wondering because I was planning to do these in like 3-hour increments, give or take. I'm just wondering how many sessions of this per the first game I'd be into. I mean, that seems a bit long. But again, I don't know. My only knowledge of the storyline comes from reading 8-Bit Theater a long time ago. So I don't actually remember much of the storyline. Plus how much of the storyline they just made up for that. Yeah, but I wonder how much of that is people playing the game and actually knowing what they're doing. I gotta wonder how much people do this stupid back and forth boat thing that I'm doing. So, I mean, if that's right, and I fall within, like, the normal boundaries of timing, then we're looking at, what, about a week of Final Fantasy I gameplay? Assuming that I don't do something stupid and get, like, horribly lost, or not understand directions that I'm given. But I also said I'm not looking at any manuals or looking up online where I'm supposed to be going and things like that. I'm just wandering about, enjoying the game. I mean, obviously after this, the intent is to play Final Fantasy II. See what that's like. And then after that, play America's Final Fantasy I, otherwise known as Final Fantasy III. Which, at least when I reach Final Fantasy III territory, I'll be using the right controller for it. I do believe Final Fantasy III came out on the SNES. No, then what am I thinking of? Wasn't Final Fantasy III the original Final Fantasy for America? Or was that Final Fantasy V am I thinking about? You know, the one in the intro where they walk up the mountain in the giant mech suits? Never actually played it, but I've seen the intro. I think everybody's seen the intro. Like, the original concept I had for all this was that I grew up playing Super Nintendo games and the like, so I figured, well, crap, there's no way I'm gonna get there. Like, I was gonna stand in my way, I was never gonna get past them. I figured what I do is I go back to my roots. I grew up playing Super Nintendo games. I was good at Super Nintendo games. Let's see how bad I suck at Super Nintendo games again. But then I thought, well, why just play the Super Nintendo games that I played as a kid? Why not play the games that I never played, right? I thought, what games did I never play as a kid that were good, that I heard were good? And the first one that came to mind was Chrono Trigger. I never played Chrono Trigger as a kid. I've heard so much about it and how great it is. I did sell that, right? Yeah, okay. So yeah, I never played Chrono Trigger, and I thought, well, I'll make a series about playing Chrono Trigger. I figure I'll call it the Game Master, because that was my nickname as a kid. Because I always just played Super Nintendo games, and it was that that series, Captain N, the Game Master. And I thought, well, you know, Chrono Trigger comes from Final Fantasy and all that. And I've only played like 3 or 4 Final Fantasy games. Maybe I should start with Final Fantasy and work my way up to Chrono Trigger. And then for a long time I sat wishy-washy on it, thinking, maybe I'll just play all of the great Super Nintendo games instead. And I found myself sitting there playing Mario Kart and Super Mario World and all those games that I grew up on, and I'm like, I don't know. These are good games and all, but I don't think they have any entertainment quality. So here I am, starting with the original Final Fantasy and hoping that I can like pull the elements that stick with me in my head along the series as we go. Yeah, but are you sure Final Fantasy I is the original Final Fantasy in America? Because I'm pretty sure that's not right. And when I say I'm pretty sure that's not right, I mean that I have no idea if that's right or not, and I'm saying that I'm pretty sure as a means of saying that whatever reasonableness exists in my head. Alright, Grunkaloid. I'll count on you until, at some point in the future, somebody corrects you in a comment that you're likely never going to see. Because I am completely unwilling to tab out and look up and do my own research or information gathering. Huh. I don't know what a Kaizoku is. There's a guy wearing cloth armor. Well, I figured by the fact it didn't survive 2 rounds that it wasn't the super rare creature that drops ultimate loot. I mean, good amount of gold, though. Just doing laps around the ocean. I think I still need 1,100 in weapons and 1,600 in armor. Well, since I got here, Ark, what's the highest rated weapon that a white mage can use? I don't want to reach the point where I spend 500 gold on a weapon for the white mage, and it turns out can't use it. I'm also pretty sure that fighters are the only ones that can use hand axes, which probably means that the red mage on my party is going to have to find a different weapon than the 550 cost one that is in the shop. Sharks do not drop enough money. Alright, so they can use the 550 item that's in the shop, which is going to increase the amount that I need. What about armor? Can they only wear cloth armor, or they do better than that? I really should be upgrading Lessons armor, since it's the only healer in the group. At the very least, the Sahagin have become less and less of a threat, especially against less buttons. I don't think I've encountered any bracelets yet in the shop, so I don't think there's anything I can do to upgrade Lessons' Lessons' armor yet. What about the Red Mage? Any limit on the Red Mage's armor? I'll just go over here and double check, make sure I didn't miss any bracelets. Now, when you say bracelets, does that include gloves? No, apparently gloves are something else. Oh, wooden shield for Griff. Gloves for Griff. I guess I'll try a shield and gloves for Raph as well. The only way to know is to put them on him. I guess I'll try the gloves on Lessons as well. Alright, Raph can't use a shield or glove. Can't use gloves. And Lessons can use gloves, so all I have now is an extra wooden shield. So let me go ahead and sell that. Wrong about what? Well, I mean, they're obviously just some sort of side armor, the same way that that I'm wearing a cap. It's just confusing when they have the icon on the side and they're not actually anything. So the way that gloves have no icon, the way that like the shield has the shield icon and the armor has the armor icon. I mean, I'm buying them. I have no idea if they actually do anything. Well, it feels like I'm taking more damage than I usually do now. Well, Lessons is wearing the heaviest armor that I can put him in at the moment. What counts as a medium armor? I mean, is iron armor? I mean, that's fair. That's fair if I'm doing that with a 500 cost item. Maybe don't spend 7,000 gold figuring out that only one person can wear it. Okay, so like the armor that he's already wearing then. So I guess it's one other character that I don't have to put in the 800 iron armor. So we're looking at about 2,300 more gold worth of upgrading to do before we head off to Elf Town. See, in any other modern game, I would say, oh, this is the part where I'm going to have to grind stuff. Well, I'll do that off stream between games or things like that. But, I mean, that is the game. If I only did the grinding between games, I'd have 10 minutes of me reading what the NPCs say, and then that's it. No offense to the old school, but early games like this, I don't feel like we're really known for the in-depth storyline. Elven Prince has a cold. Get him some herbs. Herbs got. Thank you for herbs. Riveting.